Oh, right then. Time to finish what we started. I'll leave 2020 in the mud where it belongs. 4 months into 2021. Shut up. So then, let's take a trip back to 2007, and we're jumping ship once again to the Wii. So, with brand new hardware comes brand new hardware. But alongside that, the Wii also brought brand new Mario titles to the table, and it was seeping, positively seeping, with new games starring everyone's favourite paisano, whether that be in his own series or someone else's. Why is there so many? But the game in question we're going to be talking about today is going to be Super Mario Galaxy, a game which was so good and so well received, it ended up getting a sequel in 2010, making this, to my knowledge at least, the only 3D Mario game to get an actual titled sequel. But of course, Galaxy 2 isn't on the 3D All-Stars collection, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that until like a future video or something. Bloody hell. The PAL version of Galaxy 2 actually comes with a separate DVD in the box, which goes in depth on how to play the game. This thing could be a video in itself, seriously.
To play Super Mario Galaxy 2, you'll need a Wii remote.
Oh. That's what I've been doing wrong. So yeah, anyway, you're right lads, Dan here. Welcome back to the Mario-Thon, the only show on the internet which says, hello, how are you? So today we're going to be talking about Super Mario Galaxy, the third and final game on the 3D All-Stars collection. Took me long enough, didn't it? Hope the wait was worth it. Let's begin. Oh yeah. We are in for a treat today, boys. So the game starts off with the princess inviting Mario for cake. Wait a second, I feel like I've heard this one before. Alright then, so new game, new ideas. What we got?
Listen, dude, just do another Mario 64. He gets invited for cake. He goes to get the cake. It's not there. Big adventure. Happy days. It's worked hundreds of times before, and it'll work now. People eat this stuff up.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess we could do that again, but I don't know. What's so different about this one? It's in space. So, Mario is on his way to get his gloved hands on the cake. Honestly, mate, just give up. It never happens. And, oh, shove me off the Empire State and call me Shirley. Bowser turns up. Could never have seen that one coming. But instead of nabbing the princess and calling it a day, he just takes the entire castle with everyone in it and buggers off into space, you know, as you do. Mario tries to fight back, but he gets flung out into orbit. Poor twat just can't seem to catch a break, can he? He ends up landing on a rock in the middle of space where he meets these star things called Lumas and their guardian Rosalina, who offers to help Mario pursue Bowser if he helps gather power stars and grand stars to power her observatory. To do this, he needs to explore many different clusters of planets, or galaxies, as this game calls them, to find the stars by solving puzzles, beating platforming challenges, or doing little mini-games for some of the inhabitants of the galaxies to collect enough stars to chase down Bowser. Mario, mate, just leave it. If it's cake you're after, just go to Greg's. For God's sake, she's not worth your time. The control in this game feels somewhat slower paced in my opinion compared to the other games in this collection, but that's to be expected because just look at it. Most of this game revolves around gravity, you know, switching itself inside and out quite a lot of the time. Anti-gravity and gravity flipping in games isn't usually done very well. It can feel kind of forced, but I'll be damned. This game does it really bloody well. The controls complement the anti-gravity parts of the stages perfectly and doesn't screw itself up if you do so much as stick your toe on a slanted ledge. And Mario's still got his standard moveset, you know, triple jump, long jump, all that. I really don't need to say that by now. But now he has a special spin move you can use to adjust yourself in the air slightly, break crystals, and attack enemies. Oh yeah, and also if you use this move when you touch these giant stars, you... Right, so this was originally a Wii game, so there are going to be tons of motion controls everywhere, and you know what? Surprisingly enough, most of them work pretty decently with the Switch's controls. More specifically, the gyro aiming for the cursor that's always on screen. It works perfectly. To name another example, there's this manta ray you can use as a surfboard in a couple of time trial races. Speaking of which, one time when I was doing a challenge for some penguin geezer, I was able to beat the required time to get the star, but the thing is, the game stops you as soon as you go over the finish line, which, you know, should be pretty bog standard, but it keeps any momentum you've built up rolling. So I ended up careening into a wall, flying off the stage, and dying as soon as the clock stopped, so I couldn't get the star and had to do it all over again. But the thing is, the game still saved my time from the last run. You know what that means? Okay. You got me, alright? I have had to nitpick with this game, but to be honest, in order to find any forms of negatives whatsoever, that's what I've had to do. This is why people think this game is one of the best on the Wii. Apart from a couple of issues with motion controls, this game is fantastic. So let's just keep chugging along on high and talk about some power-ups, shall we? Let's go. So one of the first ones you get turns Mario into a bee, because why not? It's Nintendo, the sky's the bloody limit. This suit lets you fly around briefly, land on certain platforms, and climb up honeycomb walls. The Boo Mushroom turns Mario into a ghost, technically meaning Mario dies for the sake of a power-up. Right then. In this form, you can hover around, phase through gates, and you can even terrorize Luigi. What's not to love? The classic Fire Mario returns in this game, but it works a bit differently than we've all come to expect, mostly because he has a 20-second time limit before completely disappearing. No idea why they decided to do that, but whatever. But on the opposite side, though, this game introduces one of the Ice Mario forms. I mean, yeah, this is basically the same as Fire Mario, but with ice and skating. Okay, there's your standard invincibility, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and a brand new red star, which turns Mario into a crappy DeviantArt recolor OC. Jokes aside, this one is pretty cool though, because it lets you fly around freely. I mean, it's definitely the most fun power-up in the game. And this one is the worst! What? The spring mushroom essentially just wraps Mario in a spring, which makes you jump higher. That's it. That is literally it. You can't even move around normally with this thing. You just kind of bounce and bound all over the place. I mean, sure, you can get used to it with some practice, but it's proper finicky at the end of the day, and it's just so damn forgettable. I'll move on now. Don't care doing it. So something you probably realized in this marathon is that not only am I talking about these games in kind of a casual point of view, you know, just playing it casually, you know, I'm also talking about what you get for 100%ing each of these games. And I will stand by that. I'll do it for this game. So for this game... Christ. Right, okay, so don't get me wrong, this game is basically on par with the others when it comes to completion. The main game has 120 stars to collect. Most of them are found just by getting from point A to point B. This game is a lot more linear than the other games in this collection. I would not call any levels particularly open-ended. The others can be found through optional unlockable levels you can get from feeding these creatures starbits, one of the main common collectibles apart from coins, of course. Feed them enough and they bugger off into space and turn into a level to play on. And also, occasionally these special comets will fly over certain levels, giving you access to a special challenge while you replay an older level. Things like time limits, limited health, purple coin challenges, or even the opportunity to race up cloning yourself to the finish. All of this is well and good and all, and I would have been perfectly willing to go through all of this for the sake of this video. So I did. I started going through all this in my free time, barring a few technical difficulties and a few unrelated things happening in my life outside of YouTube. I started preparing for this video and recording gameplay back in February. And after a while, I did come pretty close to that 100% goal. Admittedly, after a bit, I got a little bit curious, so I looked online to see what would happen afterwards. So, what is your reward for full 100% completion? I'll give you a few seconds to have a guess. You get a sparkly triple jump and a typoed message from Yoshi? A stupid still image that literally means nothing? No! You get to play through the entire game again as Luigi. Luigi! Okay, fair enough. Compared to some of the other games I've talked about, this ain't a bad trade-off, right? Well, no! There's actually one final extra level you can unlock. But in order to unlock it, you need to 100% this game, not once, twice. Once as Mario, and once as Luigi. No! And when I found this out, I came to the conclusion that one 100% run, totally fine. I'll just do that. And Luigi, well, Luigi can go f himself. So, after you gather enough power stars, we can finally travel to the center of the universe, where we find, well, who else? Bowser.
Good evening.
And I think you can see where this is going. We fight him, and we win. Yeah, I know. Don't act so surprised. After beating Bowser, we took the final grand star that was powering a generator inside of a literal star. The generator is destroyed, thus making the star explode. And you know what happens when stars explode? Well, do you? What? black hole? Exactly! A black hole appears, everyone and their nan gets sucked into it, and everybody dies. And after that, the Big Bang happens again. Okay, everyone is dead. I refuse to be told otherwise. The universe gets reset, and everyone wakes up back on Earth. Somehow. And of course, it all ends with Mario having a reasonable reaction to what in the hell just happened over the last 3.5 minutes. The end. So yeah, that was Super Mario Galaxy, and well, the end of the 3D All-Stars collection, and the end of Mario-Thon. I know, it's really sad and everything. And I can only apologize it took me this long to get the whole thing done, and, wait. What month's it again? Hang on, let me have a look. Oh god, no. Hang on. No. So that means... it's time for you to go, old friend. Sayonara, Super Mario. And then the scalpers came back! Yeah!